Hello everyone, you're on the channel Who Created It and How. Today we're diving into a topic that's as old as humanity itself, healing herbs. Who were the first people to look at a plant and think, hey, I bet this could cure my headache? It's a fascinating question, and the answer isn't a single person or a single moment in time. Instead, it's a story of trial, error, and observation that spans millennia and cultures all across the globe. Let's travel back in time, way back to our earliest ancestors. Imagine a small group of hunter-gatherers. Someone gets a nasty cut and it starts to get infected. Another person has a terrible stomachache after eating something questionable. In a world without pharmacies or doctors, what did they do? They looked to the only resource they had, nature. The discovery of healing herbs was likely a slow, gradual process driven by necessity. Early humans were expert observers of their environment. They watched animals. Which plants did a sick animal eat to recover? Which ones did they avoid? This animal instinct was probably our first clue. If a deer with an upset stomach chewed on a specific type of leaf and then got better, you can bet our ancestors took note. This is a concept known as zoopharmacognosy, animals self-medicating. It's a behavior we still see today, from chimpanzees swallowing rough leaves to get rid of parasites, to birds lining their nests with aromatic plants to repel mites. Beyond watching animals, there was the unavoidable process of trial and error. This was a risky business. Someone might have tried a berry and felt their fever break. Another might have tried a different berry and, well, let's just say they didn't get to pass that knowledge on. This knowledge, hard won through experience, was vital for survival. The person in the tribe who knew which roots eased pain or which leaves stopped bleeding was an incredibly valuable member of the community. They were the first doctors, the first pharmacists. This knowledge wasn't written down for thousands of years. It was passed from one generation to the next through stories, songs, and rituals. The elder would take the younger members of the tribe out into the forest, pointing out different plants, explaining their uses, and teaching them how to prepare them. This one, you crush the leaves into a paste for wounds. This one, you boil the root to make a tea for coughs. But this one, with the shiny red berries, never touch it. This oral tradition was the world's first medical encyclopedia. As civilizations began to form, this knowledge became more formalized. Let's head to ancient Mesopotamia, around 5,000 years ago. The Sumerians left us some of the earliest written records of medicine on clay tablets. One of the most famous is the Nippur tablet, dating back to about 2100 BC. It's essentially a collection of prescriptions, mentioning plants like myrtle, thyme, and willow. They used these plants to create poultices and infusions to treat various ailments. The Sumerians weren't just guessing, they had a system. They understood that certain plants had specific properties. Now let's journey to ancient Egypt. The Egyptians were masters of medicine for their time. The Ebers Papyrus, a medical text from around 1550 BC, is one of the most important documents we have from this era. It's a massive scroll, over 20 meters long, and it contains more than 700 magical formulas and remedies. It lists a huge variety of plant-based medicines, including garlic, juniper, cannabis, aloe, and mandrake. The Egyptians used garlic for circulatory problems and as a general cure-all. They used aloe vera for skin conditions and burns, something we still do today. The knowledge was so advanced that many of the remedies described in the Ebers Papyrus have been found to have real pharmacological effects. Meanwhile, on the other side of the world, traditional Chinese medicine was also taking root. Its legendary origins are often attributed to the mythical Emperor Shennong, the divine farmer, who is said to have lived around 2800 BC. According to legend, Shennong tasted hundreds of herbs to determine their medicinal value. He supposedly had a transparent stomach, so he could see the effect each herb had on his body. He is credited with writing the Shennong Bencao Jing, or the Divine Farmer's Materia Medica, one of the foundational texts of Chinese herbalism. This book catalogues 365 medicines derived from plants, animals, and minerals. It laid the groundwork for a complex system of medicine that focuses on balancing the body's energy, or qi, using intricate herbal formulas. Herbs like ginseng for energy, ginger for nausea, and ephedra for respiratory issues have been staples for thousands of years. Let's not forget ancient India, the birthplace of Ayurveda. The word Ayurveda means the science of life, and it's one of the world's oldest holistic healing systems, developed more than 3,000 years ago. Ayurvedic texts like the Charaka Samhita and the Sushruta Samhita are treasure troves of information on herbal medicine. They describe hundreds of medicinal plants and their uses in great detail. Turmeric, for its anti-inflammatory properties, ashwagandha, for stress relief, and neem, for its antibacterial effects, are just a few examples of Ayurvedic herbs that are now popular worldwide. Ayurveda emphasizes balance between the mind, body, and spirit, using herbs as a key tool to maintain that harmony. As we move forward in time to ancient Greece and Rome, we see a more scientific approach emerging. The Greek physician Hippocrates, often called the father of medicine, lived around 400 BC. He famously said, "Let food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food." He believed that illness was a result of natural causes, not divine punishment, and he documented the effects of many plants. He used willow bark, which we now know contains a substance similar to aspirin, to relieve pain and fever. Later, a Greek physician named Pedanius Dioscorides, who served in the Roman army in the 1st century AD, took herbal knowledge to a new level. He traveled extensively with the army, which gave him the opportunity to study plants from all over the Roman Empire. He compiled his findings into a 5-volume encyclopedia called De Materia Medica, or On Medical Matters. This book was a game changer. It described over 600 plants, along with their illustrations, habitats, and medicinal uses. It was so comprehensive and accurate that it became the standard pharmacology text for the next 1500 years, used by doctors and apothecaries all across Europe and the Middle East. During the Middle Ages in Europe, much of this classical knowledge was preserved and expanded upon in monasteries. Monks meticulously copied ancient texts like Dioscorides' work and cultivated extensive physic gardens, which were gardens dedicated solely to growing medicinal herbs. They were the keepers of healing knowledge during a time when much of Europe was in turmoil. Figures like Hildegard of Bingen, a German abbess from the 12th century, wrote extensively about the healing properties of plants, combining traditional folk knowledge with her own observations. At the same time, the Islamic Golden Age saw incredible advancements in medicine and pharmacology. Scholars like Avicenna, a Persian physician in the 11th century, wrote the Canon of Medicine, a monumental encyclopedia that synthesized Greek, Roman, and Islamic medical knowledge. It became a standard medical textbook in Europe for centuries and contained a wealth of information on herbal remedies. So, who discovered healing herbs? The answer is everyone. It wasn't one person or one culture. It was the Sumerians and the Egyptians, the Chinese and the Indians, the Greeks and the Romans. It was the anonymous hunter-gatherer who first noticed a sick animal chewing on a specific leaf. It was the village elder passing down ancient wisdom to the next generation. It was the monk carefully tending his garden, and the scholar poring over ancient texts. The discovery of healing herbs is a collective human story, a testament to our enduring relationship with the natural world. It's a global collaboration that has been going on for tens of thousands of years. And it continues today. Modern scientists are still studying plants to discover new medicines. In fact, a significant percentage of modern drugs, including aspirin, morphine, and the cancer drug Taxol, were originally derived from plants that had been used in traditional medicine for centuries. Our ancestors may not have understood the complex biochemistry of alkaloids and flavonoids, but they understood what worked. Their laboratory was the forest. Their research was observation, and their motivation was the fundamental human desire to heal and to survive. The next time you take an aspirin or sip a cup of peppermint tea for an upset stomach, take a moment to think about the incredible journey of discovery that led to it. You're participating in a tradition that is as old as humanity itself. Thank you so much for joining us on Who Created It and How. It's a story that connects us all. If you found this journey through time as fascinating as I did, Don't forget to like this video. Subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the history of discovery and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. Let us know in the comments which ancient medical practice you find most interesting. See you next time.